New Year's Eve is typically filled with people celebrating. Unfortunately, sometimes counting down into the new year also lands people in the hospital.
KRX5 reporter Star Harvey spoke with local hospital staff to find out what the emergency department looked like this New Year's.
The typical type of emergency room visits associated with New Year's Eve sometimes involves alcohol and drunk drivers. Community Hospital says visits to the ER for alcohol-related injuries and accidents were down this year compared to last. And instead this New Year's Eve, they saw more people in the ER for accidents related to weather conditions and snow activity. As many were celebrating the countdown to the new year.
New Year's Eve this year ended up being started pretty much first thing in the morning and continued through about 2 in the morning.
A team of hospital staff was counting the number of people walking into the emergency department.
We had a higher than normal number of patients in the ED, as well as a high number of patients that end up needing to be admitted to the hospital.
And while hospitals are prepared for a rush of patients on holidays such as New Year's Eve,
we're always staffed to deal with the high acuity patients and the numbers that we expect.
Community Hospital Chief Medical Officer Thomas Tobin says the emergency department saw some of the typical New Year's Eve alcohol-related patients, but numbers were down compared to last year.
New Year's Eve alcohol-related injuries and accidents, although that was lower this year, which is always good news.
However, with one of the largest single snowfall events happening this New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve depends somewhat weather dependent. Sometimes we get accidents. As of this year, we had a few car accidents because of the snow.
The hospital saw a different kind of New Year's Eve patient.
People enjoying the snow and sledding accidents, motor vehicle accidents from the slick roads, and people getting used to that.
And while people are getting used to the roads, Community Hospital says they're hoping to get ready for something.
We said we had no New Year's births, at least up to this point, although it's still New Year's Day, so can't say that it won't happen. But we didn't have one that was born at the stroke of midnight or anything like that this year. So we'll see how the year starts off with a new baby.
Community Hospital says they also saw a higher volume of patients being admitted into the hospital this New Year's Eve for serious illnesses related to winter viruses. They also say while New Year's Eve is over, New Year's Day will typically see a high volume of patients making visits to the emergency department as well. First on the Western Slope, Star Harvey, KREX 5 News.
Star, thank you very much. Well.